Welcome to the Synthpop Reviews podcast. I am a super fan of 80s new wave and synthpop music. I'm a big fan of bands like OMD, Thompson Twins, New Order, Depeche Mode. I could go on and on. Many of those bands are still making new music today, and we'll highlight some of their new releases on this podcast from time to time. However, there's also a whole other world of underground synthpop music out there. Plus, there is new popular music that sounds like it's right out of the 80s. So each month, I will review the music that I've purchased, listened to, or discovered during the month. And normally what I'd like to do is play short clips from each of these bands. But due to copyright law, I won't be doing that. Instead, please check out my blog at synthpopreviews.blogspot.com for links to clips of the music and where to buy it. So let's begin this month's spotlight. And I thought, well, to kick off this podcast, I would start with four-star reviews. These are bands that I think are excellent, and I like just about everything that they produce. So we'll start there and then move on to more nuanced reviews in the future. The first band I'd like to spotlight for this month is Empathy Test. I've been listening to this quite a bit. And to describe Empathy Test's music, I would use the word ethereal and also maybe melancholy, just a little bit of melancholy in that music. It has haunting vocals with very beautiful synth work behind them. The vocals remind me a little bit of Robert Smith of The Cure. I would say it falls in the same category. And really, every single song I've heard by Empathy Test, I have loved. If I could recommend just a couple of songs for you to listen to, my first pick would be Everything Will Work Out. It's from the album Safe from Harm by Empathy Test. And I can't just limit my recommendation to one song from Empathy Test. So please also check out Here Is the Place from their Losing Touch album. The next band I'd like to spotlight is a band called Mesh, and they have been around for many years in the underground synthpop scene. And again, this is a 4-star band. Almost everything that they've made, I think, is very high quality. It's definitely worth listening to. Mesh's vocalist reminds me a bit of Depeche Mode, but also a little bit of Andy Bell from Erasure. Mesh has a long discography of quality music, and pretty much all of it is worth checking out. The track I would recommend for you to start with is Runway from Mesh's album Looking Skyward. The next band I'd like to spotlight is Binary Park, and this is one of my very favorite discoveries that I've made over the last few months. Binary Park produces crisp, punchy synthpop with great vocals. The track I would recommend that you start with is Your Own Great Nation from the Life on Lines album. Highly recommended. And my final band spotlight goes to Brandon Flowers. He is the vocalist of The Killers, a very famous musician from a famous band. But his most recent album, called The Desired Effect, came out a few years ago, and it is almost completely synth pop or new wave style music. It's a great album start to finish, but the track I would like to recommend is called Can't Deny My Love. And again, that's from The Desired Effect by Brandon Flowers. So I encourage you to check out each of those bands. I hope you'll join me again next time. Until then, happy listening.